Thanks so much for joining us. We are the Massie twins from GoneWithTheTwins.com, and today we're going to be talking about Knives Out, the new Rian Johnson whodunnit. Yep. What's interesting about this film is when we saw the screening, right away they actually have footage that they filmed of director Rian Johnson, giving a disclaimer saying please don't spoil anything because this is a whodunit, which leads me to my first comment about this film. So it's very well done. It's a little long. It's a little over 2 hours. So the whodunit keeps going. There's a certain point where it's a little bit over long, but because he goes out of his way to say please don't spoil it, I thought it's strange because although this is a whodunit all the way through, about halfway, not even halfway, they actually reveal very, very crucial bits of information.
Bigger reveal than what I would have thought.
So then, and I think, so my first criticism, again, this is a very entertaining film, but my first criticism of it would be that the audience knows a little bit too much too early. So again, before even the halfway point, I think we're given information that had they withheld it, it would have kept tension going. But instead, we're in on it. So then it's not so much a whodunit, it's a, well, how do people get away with it? Or, what other things are involved? And so there's a lot of twists and turns which are fun, but they come at the very end. So there's this chunk in the middle after this big reveal of information, again, that I think should have been withheld. But what we essentially have is there's a lot of like falling action that's taking place right in the middle of the movie. You get, so the basic, well, you want to tell the basic story.
The what you think is going to be the large mystery, they sort of reveal too much too early, and then you have a bunch of peripheral mysteries that are now the things that have to be the focus of the film. But the basic premise is that Christopher Plummer is sort of this patriarch of this large family. He is a very successful mystery writer, and his entire family are basically a bunch of spoiled brats. But at the onset of the film, he's found dead by the maid or something like that, and it's the presumption is that it was suicide, but the two police officers who are there investigating, they also assume it's suicide as well because all of the evidence shows that. But a well-known private detective played by Daniel Craig,
he's Benoit something. Anyway, he's called in, and so he kind of sits in the background, and people are wondering why is this guy here? And but he thinks something is amiss, and
that's what brings on this.
So there's interrogation scenes, and we soon learn that everybody's got a motive, everybody's a suspect, and so that's how you get into that whodunit. But again, at this kind of this halfway point, it's no longer really a whodunit. It's how is everybody involved, and what other twists and turns are involved in it.
But that's not to take away from the general mystery that is essentially unguessable.
I would like to think this is by design. I'd like to think that Rian Johnson wanted the audience to be in on too much at the beginning, so that it's.
I also, and I'm hoping that this is the case, that he is paying homage to all of the great mystery films.
The one that comes to mind, the one that comes to mind is Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder, and that is because that one in the same way, the audience they know who did it the whole time. They're in on it, so it's a matter of will he get away with it? How is he implicating other people? How is the detective solving it? And those kind of things.
Well, the general trope that Hitchcock used of that wrong man that you see in the Wrong Man and The Third Man and countless others of his films, North by Northwest.
But Third Man wasn't his.
Or not Third Man, 39 Steps. 39 Steps. But that general trope is...
that we know who did it.
We're
not solving the crime.
What I was going to say is that
along with how you will get out
Ana
of it.
de Armas is playing the nurse to Christopher Plummer, and she's the one that is kind of getting roped into being the guilty one, even though we're following her, basically her point of view.
And so some of the things I really liked about this, right at the beginning, we get kind of this Hound of the Baskervilles sort of a premise. There's even some dogs in there, and then the house itself is decorated very much like Sleuth.
I definitely picked
not
up
the remake, the one
Sleuth,
with the original one with Michael Caine and I can't remember who the other guy was in it, but anyway, so the
Laurence Olivier.
So the visual flourishes are really interesting. What you get is this. It's kind of like this old-fashioned murder mystery, kind of Sherlock Holmes type stuff, or maybe there's a little bit of Poirot in there, but then it's fused with a modern kind of a setting because this is modern day. There's iPhones and there's conversations that involve a lot of modern technology, internet and stuff like that. So
I got a bit of Thin Man too.
And Laura, because you build to the big reveal where everybody has to get together in a crowded room and say, this is what happened. But anyway, it's a very entertaining film. It's very twisty. It's designed specifically to be unguessable, unpredictable, and it works that way. By the end, there's a few things that I kind of saw coming, but for the most part, you're not meant to guess what it is. They don't give you enough clues so that you can kind of guess who it is by the end of it. But the parting shots are very satisfying.
There's a few missed opportunities that I'll bring up, a few quips I have about it. One is that I feel like they sort of missed a chance to make Daniel Craig's idiosyncratic detective even more over the top, even crazier, even weirder.
Part of the problem is that Daniel Craig isn't really doing a strange, unique.
Yeah, well, they give him this weird accent.
Yeah, it's too much. It's still Daniel Craig, and it's a very recognizable Daniel Craig, but then he has this accent, and I think there needed to be something more drastic to be convincing as this very unusual detective. Instead, he just comes off as Daniel Craig doing a shtick. And
the other I thought was a strange choice, strange gimmick is that the nurse played by Ana de Armas, she has this strange quirk where she throws up if she tells a lie. Yeah. And I thought there must be a better way to incorporate some kind of thing in there
It's great for a few laughs.
It's good. Yeah, and the film is heavy with humor as well as mystery. But
it's kind of a lighthearted murder mystery. But again, in certain parts of it, it's not a mystery so much. It's kind of just following along with these characters and a bit of a character study in there too. So. But either way, very entertaining film. Again, ran maybe a little bit over long, but
what a cast too.
Yes, quite a cast. Yeah, it's a great ensemble cast. It's got kind of that Murder on the Orient Express vibe, right, where they collect a bunch of very recognizable characters.
And they also throw in a few of the like M. Emmett Walsh.
Just
notable from a long time ago.
Yeah. But anyway, so entertaining, and I would recommend this film.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching. We will see you guys the next time.